Third time is a charm. Hi, welcome to the 1312 Runner Kickoff. I'm Hayana Verissimo, I'm Product Design Manager for CI/CD, currently the UX DRI for the Runner team. And today I'm here with Darren, our Product Manager. We're going to be covering the kickoff for Runner and all the awesome stuff that we're going to be delivering this milestone. So here you can see the iteration plan. And I'll start by covering some of our UX business. So you know that this quarter we had a share OKR between product and design, and we worked to improve the system usability score of our product in general GitLab, aiming to get to 72.5, if I'm not mistaken, by making focus improvements through visibility of system status. And the Runner team managed to close so far 4 issues and a number of merge requests related to improvements to the Runner admin view, to the settings, group, and project pages, which is really awesome. And I wanted to give a shout out to Miguel and Suzanne for helping us achieve this and for the continued efforts to improve and polish the UI of the Runner view. So thank you so much for all you're doing for our teams. And I'm looking forward to continue working on improving the usability of runners in Q2. We are still focusing on the usability. So that's the overall goal for the UX department. And the issues that we couldn't deliver this quarter probably will cascade to the upcoming milestones in the next quarter. And my second update is actually related to my availability. With my recent transition to the product design manager role for CI/CD, my focus switched to hiring a product designer that will backfill my role. So in the meantime, in 13.2, I will continue supporting the Runner team by facilitating UX reviews in the merge request. So for example, with Miguel, I'll continue reviewing any front-end updates that affect the user interface so that we can keep the conversation going and make sure that front-end is generating improvements and that UX is involved in providing best practices and fixing minor issues and following up with UX depth in the merge request phase. So I'm looking forward to continue collaborating, and now I'll pass it over to Darren so he can talk about the upcoming technical plans for Runner this milestone.
Hey, thanks a bunch, Hayana. And just want to say thank you for your leadership on the UX front, and also want to echo that shout out to Miguel and Susan for just their proactive leadership in moving the ball forward in terms of improving our system usability score for things related to Runner. I'm just super work on that front. That's been awesome. So folks, just kind of back to sort of the tour de force for us here, chatting a bit in terms of what's coming with the core Runner capabilities for in 13.1.2. I'm just going to go over this really quickly. One of the first things we're looking to deliver in 13.1.2, I'm actually pretty close, is this feature here, which is called unable to pass variable name and secret vault path. So let me translate that into something that means a bit more English. Basically, when we were implementing the MVC for the vault integration a few releases back, we chose to expand variables only in 2 places. If I recall correctly, it was the auth JWT and auth role entries. What this new feature will do, sort of in layman's terms, it will allow the vault secret configuration to be applicable for various expansion. So this it unlocks use case as described here, where the user is trying to use an environment path variable in the configuration setting for passing in those vault values. So this feature is pretty close. There's actually an active merge request under review. So we've got a deliverable label on there, and it's looking to ship in 13.1.2. The other thing that we're working on in 13.1.2, and we actually chatted a bit about this in 13.1.1 Kickoff video, is this feature here called supporting the Git strategy with Kubernetes Executor. We started work on this. We hope to ship in 13.1.1. However, there are still ongoing reviews of the associated MRs in progress, and so that's the result of us now moving the target milestone. But just a quick recap in terms of what this one does, a quick reminder is that this feature enables the Git strategy CI/CD setting in the GitLab Runner Kubernetes Executor. Just a quick recap, in GitLab Runner, there are various executors that we offer with GitLab Runner, Docker, Kubernetes, Shell, and so on. This is specific to the Kubernetes Executor. And what Git strategy does is basically enables the use of GitLab CI to choose a default way that the project repo is fetched from GitLab during pipeline execution. So it's a very important feature for our users that are relying on the Kubernetes executor to execute their CI jobs. The other one that we are working on as well, it's also related to Kubernetes. And this, again, this theme of Kubernetes will keep coming up throughout the year. If you recall, if you've been looking in our kickoff video for the year, we talked about a runner strategy. I spoke a bit about Kubernetes being one of those key pillars for us throughout FY22. So another thing we're working on is the support for Windows build pods in the Kubernetes executor. What this basically allows you to do, and it's a super important feature for customers that have hybrid Kubernetes cluster configurations. Basically, they've got a mix of Linux and Windows virtual machines as their Kubernetes nodes. Today, those folks that have those types of hybrid configurations, if a runner pod that's been spun up on a Windows node tries to execute a job, that won't work. With this feature enabled and this feature available in 13.1.2, that capability will now be available. So we will now support that hybrid configuration. In other words, we'll now support you using a node backed by Windows in your Kubernetes cluster for executing your CI jobs. So those are the key things we are working on that we have that we are planning to deliver, and that we are prioritized for delivery and run a core in 13.1.2. There are a couple other things as well that we may get to that you can see here in the list, but I'm not going to chat about those today. In terms of Runner Cloud, 13.1.2 focus is we're continuing some activities around ensuring that we're supporting a high level of stability and attainment of our Aptex SLOs for the GitLab.com CI runners. So there's some additional work that we're doing in support of that, and we are focused a lot in terms of that as well. From a runner quality perspective, we've got a lot of leadership from Zeph, our quality lead. We won't actually be shipping anything that's a customer consumable feature in 13.1.2 related to quality, but what we're doing is a lot of work in terms of improving on the maturity of how we handle quality as a construct, as a concept for GitLab Runner specifically. And so for folks that are interested, you can take a look at this Runner Incept link here. There's a number of different activities related to quality and improving how we test runner, how we support runners at scale and so forth in GitLab.com. So that's a quick recap. For Runner Core, you'll see 3 new capabilities in the core runner distribution in 13.1.2, 2 things related to Kubernetes Executor, and 1 feature set related to variables handling, and specifically using Vault. And then for Runner Cloud, we're doing some additional backend work in 13.1.2 related to stability and scalability. So that's it from my side. I pass it back over to Hayana for any passing thoughts or parting thoughts, I should say.
Everything's good on my end. Thank you so much, Darren, for the overview. If you have any questions, you can always reach us out, right, at the GitLab, our Verissimo and Darren's as well. And it's going to be the best release ever.